What's going on, everybody? Kenny Bomb is in the building, and it's official. We got 3 spots left on this Mortal Kombat 1 roster. Now, the early release for this game is on September 14th, so the game essentially comes out in just 3 weeks. And this week was very exciting in itself, so I expect the next few weeks to follow suit. But who could these final 3 spots belong to? Well, we've already seen one of them, officially and behind closed doors. One of them has been teased, and I think at this point, we can erase that question mark off of the last spot as well, because somebody else has been teased, and I think we know who that last spot belongs to. So we got to talk about it. But first, this one is going to be pretty big, and a lot of people will have different opinions on it, but I want to hear yours. So be sure to let me know what you think about this in the comment section, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because as I stated, this game will be released in about 3 weeks, and we're going to be on top of everything pre and post release. Now let's get into it.
Run, boy, they coming on.
Alright, so this is going to be the first roster check video where we unlock every question mark on this character selection screen. Now, we started out with just these characters in the middle. Along the way, we made some predictions. Got some right, got some wrong. But when we finish unlocking these question marks today, we could be looking at the final Mortal Kombat 1 roster. So let's get into it. So with this last reveal, they hit me with another curveball. These 2 characters could be 2 of the biggest characters in this story, but we got them revealed at Gamescom when I thought they would be saved for last. Let's start off with the first one. We finally got the reveal of Big Shao. And I had to kind of sit on Big Shao's new design for a minute, but I don't mind the horns. I think the horns are great. I like them with the mask on better with the mask off, and it's always been that way. But I thought he was too small. But after seeing him at the Kombat cast, I actually like that they made him smaller because he has a lot more mobility. He seems a lot faster. I always liked Shao Kahn, one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat, but I never really used him just because he was always one of those boss characters and he was always kind of slow and sluggish. But now with that axe, for one, the axe is going to be a problem. For 2, he's very fast. So I think Big Shao might finally get his spot on the bomb squad. Probably number 4. Sub-Zero number 1. I think Rain's going to be number 2. Kung Lao was always slept on, but I think he might be my number 3. Big Shao might be getting that spot at number 4. We'll have to see who 5 is. Now, the next character that got revealed was one a lot of people have been waiting to see for a very long time, but she was revealed to be Super Saiyan 3 Queen Sindel, with the Wonder Woman thing on her face, so she's taking inspiration from everywhere. So a big part of the story we've seen so far was the fact that Mileena is supposed to be taking the throne when Sindel is gone. And as we've seen in the past, they can go a few different ways with Sindel. She might get killed so Mileena can take the throne, or she might kill everybody and nobody takes the throne. But I don't know, she kind of comes off like a boss. In that fatality, she straight up walks in their face and says, "Who's your queen?" before she kills them. Kind of like, "Who's your daddy?" So I don't think nobody's messing with her. So as of right now, this is our Mortal Kombat 1 roster, and it is insane. But let's talk about who's left to be revealed. One character we've seen numerous times. We've seen him in that trailer the first time we saw Motaro. We saw him in this most recent trailer. Looked like somebody beat him up kind of, so I don't know. He might kind of be a scrub, y'all, but we'll have to wait and see. That character is Reiko. We know Reiko is on the Mortal Kombat 1 roster. He is making his return, and I don't know. He kind of has been positioned as like a servant so far, just like a minion. You know, he was walking up to do Shao Kahn's dirty work. Looked like Raiden possibly beat the brakes off him in the last trailer we saw, so I'm going to have to see where we go with Reiko. But after Reiko, who else is expected to be revealed? So we already talked about this character being teased numerous times in the past, so we're going to head and throw it out. Natara has been teased for the Mortal Kombat 1 roster, and the fact that we haven't seen her yet, I think it's crazy. They're revealing her after General Shao, and they're revealing her after Queen Sindel. I don't know what's going on with Natara, y'all, but she might be one of the bosses now. Not like a boss, like a final boss, but she might be up there when it comes to ranking, or her character design might just be crazy. So we'll see. They're saving her for a final punch. I can't wait to see it. We'll see. So who gets the final spot on this roster? I can't believe I'm about to say this, y'all, but think about it. Shang Tsung was the first boss in Mortal Kombat. He was unplayable. Now he's playable. Shao Kahn, unplayable boss. Now he's playable. Goro, sub-boss, unplayable. Now he's playable. Shinnok, playable. Blaze, playable. Onaga, he was playable. Kronika has not been a playable boss in Mortal Kombat. Now, she was introduced in Mortal Kombat 1, and everybody thought she was gone for good. But as we know now, she's back. So why would Kronika be the only unplayable boss in Mortal Kombat history? I think Kronika is taking this final spot on this Mortal Kombat 1 roster. Now, I always say the final boss should not be playable on these games, and that's just because I think they should have cheap moves and cheap tactics, just like Kronika did in Mortal Kombat 1. But I think if Kronika is on this base roster, then she is not going to be the final boss in this game. They could be trying to swerve us, because why would they release this footage right before the game is released? I'm not buying it. Like she was in Mortal Kombat 11, not Mortal Kombat 1. But if they got Kronika on this roster, of course she's not going to have those cheap moves like she had in the last game with dragons running across the screen, Sub-Zero popping up out of nowhere. She would, of course, be built just like one of these other fighters on this roster, and I think that could be very cool, especially with the abilities Kronika has. And you got to think about it. You got to remember, Kronika possibly had the best Mortal Kombat fatality of all time. You know what? Liu Kang's Galaxy fatality is cool, but pretty much you're dead. Kronika ripped you apart, put you back together. Ripped you apart, put you back together. It's like endless suffering, and that's like the most brutal fatality I think we have ever seen. So because I figured she would still have some of the time stuff going on, so I mean, her fatality and her abilities could definitely still be great. I mean, I think Kronika could actually be a good spot on this roster. I know that's going to be pretty controversial. Some people will hate it, some people will love it, but this is big for character retention. Y'all gotta think about it. Look at all these 3D era characters that we got back in this game that we haven't seen for a long time. They're just introducing characters and getting rid of them, and we don't want that. The Collector is back in invasions mode. Even in that small spot, it's a big win for character retention. You know what? Farah's on the roster. We're missing Tor, but she's back as well. I think these characters that were introduced in the last game still need to be incorporated in Mortal Kombat some way. Geras as well. It's a big win all around the board, y'all. Hate it or love it. Think about it. You got 23 character spots of characters you love. If you didn't like Kronika in Mortal Kombat 11, it's one character spot. It's fine. So this could potentially be our final Mortal Kombat 1 roster. Now, Quan Chi and Ermac are essential, and they are big pieces of this roster. Even though they're DLC, I'm still going to count them. So looking at those two on this roster along with these fighters, this is 100% the best Mortal Kombat roster of all time, in my personal opinion. If you don't agree, let me know your thoughts in the comment section on that. Now, of course, as always, we got some heavy hitters missing from this roster. Jade being one you hear about a lot, and Noob Saibot is not here, for obvious reasons though. But they did say they're going to support this game for a long time. And whether they do or not, you gotta believe we're at least going to get a Kombat Pack 2. And if we get that Kombat Pack 2, the characters included there do not have to be in the story. So it could be anybody. I'm sure with the outcry, we will get Jade in Kombat Pack 2 at least. Hopefully we can get Noob Saibot, but I don't want Bihan to die. I just went on a whole rant about Bihan dying. We'll have to get to that in another video. But let me know what y'all think about this roster so far in the comment section. Once everybody is officially revealed, I'll be doing another video that's a Kombat Pack 2 wish list. So make sure y'all stick around for that. Thank y'all for tuning into this video. Don't forget to drop a like on it. Help me out by dropping a like on it, especially if you made it this far. And smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Bomb Squad, let's get to that.